hate puppies. It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
It's not cheap, though. That's the problem.
$60. You guys whispering into the mics over there?
Oh, the mic's hot?
The mics are hot.
We're talking
Damn
mani
it.
pedis.
I know that's kind of actually was trying to catch some of that actually. Some of that hot mani-pedi action you guys were talking about. Not going to be a good episode if that's the...
You ever have one?
Yeah.
I've had a manicure. I've never had a pedicure. I would like to do it, though.
I did it through
just too
for a
cheap.
work
Oh, yeah,
thing.
you did. That's right. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Hosted one
Y'all
of those.
did like a Brazilian
Oh,
wax
look at
thing?
that. The whole soundboard just shut down and died.
Nice.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the home of technical difficulties, apparently. That was interesting. The whole thing just shit the bed on me. So now I'm going to have to do
Sorry,
a little
Taylor.
bit have to do a little bit of work over here because our new producer isn't.
No.
Easy enough.
Got the wrong guy.
We got Stu back in. That's 2 weeks in a row. That makes him a regular.
That's right.
The rate we're going here, so that's good. That's good. Welcome, Stu. Glad to have you on board.
Glad to be here. Can't complain.
We obviously got Troy here. We did not have E.L.I tonight.
No Pat.
No Pat. No E.L.I.
I miss Pat's voice.
Yeah, I miss him behind the wall.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I enjoyed the heck out of that episode, man.
I wonder if everybody else got as much kick out of that as we did.
I've only actually talked to one listener about it, and
I
they
haven't
were
listened to it yet.
They were like, it was hilarious. I've listened to it twice.
Nice.
Like, is that funny? Is that funny? And that took an act of Congress for me to do after listening to the best of.
Yeah, because that was 4 hours. I still haven't gotten through all that.
I was listening to the best of. I got 3 hours into it before I thought to myself, if I have to hear myself talk one more minute, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it.
You're in the best of a lot.
I mean, by default.
Yeah.
By default. But it's amazing how many different people are on the best of, as you start going through it. And I think Jason did a really good job of putting it together for sure.
He did.
Where it's got some serious stuff. It's got some good stuff. My dad is prominently featured in the best of for season 1.
Your dad's a perennial all-star on this thing, dude.
Oh my God. That is the smartest man I know on so many levels. And you let Jason edit it up and he's like, here's him being dumb. I was like, thanks.
Well, your dad's so forthcoming. That one story I had totally forgotten about, and it sent chills up my spine hearing about it again. And we won't talk about it here, but we can tease it. But he had that inappropriate story that you told that he really got into. Let's just leave it at that.
I will. That's a fair way to put it. It was definitely good. It was look. It's great. Now we just got to figure out how we want to put it out there because I've seen the finished product. It's fantastic. There's part of me that wants to make it a pay thing, even though technically speaking, you have all of this material.
Yes.
If you just scroll back, the problem is you have to listen to 60 some hours.
Yeah.
To get what
the 4 good hours
have been. Well, there's plenty of other good stuff.
Yes. The 4 best hours, I should say.
Yes, and I think that's a fair.
I think we have to charge because Jason put so much work into it. I don't feel like. I mean, he's a skilled musician and technician, and he deserves. He's not going to get compensated, but we deserve compensation for his work.
Well, I think we would split it on some level. I didn't say 50-50.
Yeah. Okay.
I just said split it.
Yeah.
See, it's a very. I leave that very loosey goosey. 90-10 is splitting it.
Yeah. On some level.
20-80 splitting it.
Yeah. We can throw him a t-shirt and a
60-40 is
koozie.
not. 60-40 is not splitting it. That's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll throw him a koozie. Hey, Jason, let me get that koozie back that I gave you.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason, I got you a koozie.
So did you find 5 minutes for the intro?
What do you mean? I did.
Yeah.
I did. I made his intro for him last week. I actually did it after the last episode, which after the episode last week, we all sat around drinking, and it ended up turning into kind of a shit show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to record these intros he wanted. And I sent off 5 or 6 intros, and all of them I was like, those are all horrible. Good luck. And then sure enough, the next day, he's like, it's been completed. Here you go with your horrible intro.
Did he edit that too?
No, he just used that
he used
straight.
One of them?
Yeah, he just took it and ran with it. I think he was
Nice.
tired of waiting on it.
Yeah.
So I felt bad after calling it out on the air. So the best of exists. How we're going to disseminate that to y'all is TBD. Because I wouldn't even know what to charge.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I think-
$100,
I was-
$500.
Somewhere in there,
Yeah.
for sure.
Do it by the episode.
So you could just do it like you pay whatever you want.
Yeah.
Then I think we would learn very quickly what people are willing to pay for a best of.
Yeah.
Because if we get a bunch of 25-cent donations, I'll be like, you're a dick.
You're an asshole.
But you get a couple $20, you're like, you obviously have way too much money.
Yes.
And there's somewhere in between there.
What you would have to do is, I would hope that people would look at it as, I'm not just paying for this 4-hour episode. I'm paying for the 4 years of free content I've gotten.
Well, if we actually make money on the first one, then we're going to release 4 best ofs.
Yeah.
Because then, of course, Jason will be like, hey, Jason, we can pay you.
Yeah.
Should be great. So we shall see. We'll figure
Tell
that
us what
out.
you think.
Yeah, I would love to get some feedback on how we should disseminate this.
You
It would
can
be-
reach us on our Facebook page, Inside the Pallet House
Yep.
podcast, or email us at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. And email us topics. We get those too. We need all the help we can get for things to talk about.
I do like getting topics, man. I do like that. That's for sure. This week, unfortunately, I went in. I was like, all right, what do we got? What do we got? And it was like Troy sending topics. I was like, damn it. We didn't get a lot of listener activity this week.
That's on you guys.
Yeah, it's not on me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just shit the bed, right?
Stu, I don't think you share on Facebook. That's where you
Yes.
tend to come at us.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another what we often talk about at the end. We should talk about it again now. Share it, like it, rate it. All these things, they're all free. They cost you nothing. They take seconds. But
Yeah.
in lieu of money, that's if you want to help out, that's a great way to help out.
It absolutely is. It promotes it and doesn't cost you anything.
Because
You might lose a couple friends.
you're still surprised. I'm always still surprised about the amount of people I know that don't know we do this.
Really?
How is that
Yeah,
possible?
I don't know. Don't you come across it?
Yeah, I mean, there's always people that are shocked, but I figure they're always like ancillary characters.
Yeah.
The funny thing that's wild is when you meet someone who's an ancillary character in your life who knows every episode.
That I love those people.
Then you're always like, what
my
the hell
favorite.
was that? Like, when did that start?
Yeah,
I mean, that's fantastic.
that's awesome.
And I do get that every so often.
That's nice.
I had one the other day. This one was crazy. So I'm sitting there doing someone in my corporate office was doing a WebEx. And she's doing the WebEx where client facing, the whole nine, but she's sharing her screen. And I look up at the top of her screen, and across the top, there's a bookmark for the InsideThePalletHouse.com.
So like the tab was
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, like she
Nice.
has it up there as a favorite so she can click at any time and check out our shows.
That's awesome.
I was like, you just came up like 3 notches.
Did you mention it to her?
I don't know that I want to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
I kind of played it cool. I was like, hey, great call. You really
Yeah.
nailed that. Like, that was impressive. And the whole time I'm thinking, she knows everything about me. And what I know about her is through the lens of work.
And she'll probably know now.
She's aware that I know. Yeah. But I
Oh,
haven't said
she
it.
is?
Well, because I just brought it up.
Well, that's what I meant.
yeah. Like, she's going to figure it out very
Yeah.
quickly.
That's giving her a distinct advantage over you.
Oh, everyone who listens that I don't know about has
Oh,
an
yeah.
advantage over me.
For
Because
sure.
they can bring things up, and I'm like, man, how'd they know I was into drones? That's
Yeah,
cool. Like, you play me like a fiddle. It's very interesting being in this.
Speaking of drones, did you see the drone I sent you?
Which drone did you send me? Maybe.
So you didn't see it. I sent it to your Facebook page, and your wife commented on it, and it was pretty funny what she said.
Oh, no.
So there's this new drone, and
I think I know. Go ahead.
it's an underwater drone. You chuck it in the water, and it looks like a regular drone, but you chuck it in the water, and it's got a camera on it, and you can take it underwater.
I see it. We've got Stu
Yeah.
being the new producer here. He has actually pulled up my Facebook.
So this
feed.
is cool, right?
So yeah,
But
so
keep
basically
the video going, and you'll see it flies.
So it's a drone that when the
amphibious.
propellers are up, it flies, but then when it hits the water, it turns over and the propellers take it down.
I don't think they turn over. I think it still works under the same principle.
No, it turns over.
Or you turn it over.
That is a very interesting drone. So this would make a lot more sense for me because I can't keep them out of the fucking ocean. That's pretty sweet.
Well, what did Brendan's wife say about it, Stu? Can you read it?
Don't say her name.
Well,
Maybe Brendan could find his missing air drone in the ocean with his water drone. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? She's an angel.
She is.
Oh my.
Wings
Oh.
of an angel.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Shots fired.
Hey, this is why I don't go on Facebook right there. Because there's this whole universe of people that are just making fun of me. It's not like I never log on to Facebook and find a bunch of like comments that are like, Brendan would love this because he's so cool. It's always like, haha, that loser. It's like, it's no good.
Facebook is like the birthday thing. I can't understand.
You know, I've never wished someone a happy birthday because I don't want to have to wish everybody else a happy birthday. And I would hate for someone to take the time and go back and go, oh, he wished them a happy birthday, but not me. So now it's like, I know that I have to wake up extra early to call my mom to be like, happy birthday, because she's going to get inundated with these Facebook things that make me now seem like I didn't give a shit.
I went in and turned mine off. I'm like, I don't need anybody. I don't need 100 happy birthdays from people I don't talk to. Like, if you know my birthday, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm an adult. My birthday is no special day. And if you're so lazy you're just going to type HBD on my Facebook page, that brings me no joy.
Well, because of what Facebook's done with the birthday, I think when you, like, I'll see on Facebook somebody's got a birthday. Yeah, I may or may not like it or say something, but definitely reminds me, and I'll send a text out. And now, it's like the text means so much more to that person
that's
than
true.
the 150,
That's very true.
150 likes. You're like, well, this is, it's like you used to send a letter.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I got a
I'm
handwritten
on
note from
Facebook
somebody.
more than my wife, and if I see her friends have a birthday, I'll text her. I'll be like, so-and-so has a birthday today. She's like, oh, yeah, thanks for the heads up. So she can send the text.
I liked it better when only 3 people knew my birthday.
Exactly.
Then I'd be like, there's the 3 people. Like, now I don't even know who likes me.
Yeah.
Or like, who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's totally destroyed. I mean, this is old news, but I mean, it's destroyed the notion of friend.
Yeah.
It's acquaintance. And
Yes.
Let's, hang out.
Stu is the captain of the acquaintance.
Yeah.
He's my acquaintance.
Well, the problem with it, too, is once you get into it, it's hard to get out of it. And it's hard to unfriend, and I've done a lot of it. And then, like, 2 years later, I'll get a friend request from someone I've already friended and unfriended. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, we don't talk in real life. Like, and it's, I don't know. Mostly it's stuff I don't care to see anyway. A lot of political stuff, a lot of people posting their stupid opinions.
Welcome to Facebook.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
But I feel like I'm too old to get into the Instagram thing, even though it seems like
get
a
in there.
better. It seems
Knock
like
that
a
out.
better thing.
Just get the login for ours and just troll through there.
It's not a bad idea.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Then you don't actually have
Stu,
to
are
have
you
one.
on Instagram?
Well,
See, in your job too. So, like, it's another thing. Like, depending on what you do for a living, these things are good and or bad. So,
I mean, we had our first, first lead came in, and a closed sale via an Instagram ad. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have Twitter, and one other one. And my real estate team, my team leader was like, "Load them up.
gotta
Gotta
get
go
it,
for
yeah.
it." I was like, "Okay, here goes the internet."
my real estate agent that I bought my house from 11 years ago still mails the shit out of things. Is that something y'all do? Like, I get stuff in the mail from him constantly.
Yeah, because that's the only way to cut through the bullshit. Like, all of a sudden you get something in the mail. Like, if you got a birthday card from me, you'd be
I'm
like,
saying,
holy
he
shit.
gives me like, he just sends me like,
Yeah, but
you
that
know,
keeps
housing
you more
things.
It keeps you more top of mind than a Facebook post, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I tell you what it does. It fills my fucking garbage bin up.
the average person doesn't remember. Like, let's just say you bought a house in March, April, height of the season.
Uh-huh.
The average person by Christmas doesn't remember the real estate agent's
Oh, really?
name unless that agent's doing his business to
yeah,
really
see,
stay in touch.
we were, speaking of acquaintances, we were friends of friends with this guy, so I'll always remember the dude, and we still see him occasionally.
That helps.
But I didn't want to go with a friend either, because I have some real estate fraternity brothers and guys that do that kind of stuff, and I just was kind of like,
well, then it's hard to cut them loose if they
Yeah.
suck at their job.
yeah,
And that's a shitty thing to find out. You know,
Yeah.
like you're working with someone and then you're like, you're not very good at this. I think I need to go somewhere else. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, so I'm going to lose a friend over this. And I've seen friendships get absolutely destroyed by
Well, it's hard-
real estate deals.
it's hard too because like I try to use acquaintances for any side jobs I need, and I always say to them, I'm like, I'm not looking for a deal. I'm just looking for an honest estimate, because I know a lot of people that do work for a living, electricians and contractors and what have you, real estate agents, whatever your service industry is, people probably hit you up wanting a discount. And I'm like, I'm not looking for a discount. I just know that a lot of these guys can take it to you, and I just want an honest day's work for an honest price.
I think with somebody you know, you're expecting maybe not the discount, but quality.
Yeah.
Like, just give me the quality of work.
Yeah, I
and say
want you
what
to
you're
pick
gonna-
up the phone. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I'm really looking for. Dude,
But sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, like say an electrician or a contractor, like if you've had any work done around your house and you've had multiple estimates, like they vary to, I mean, the degree is insane. It's not like
oh, yeah.
a few
remember when I was getting
$100. You're like,
my bathroom done. You
Yeah.
remember some of those quotes? I had everything from $30,000, like
Yeah.
30 plus,
to redo a bathroom.
to like under $7,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. And no one was promising anything different.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were like, yep, the same idea.
We'll rip this stuff out and put new stuff in.
And so the 30-some, you're out. The under 7, you're out. And then I figure, okay, everyone else in the middle,
Yeah.
I can at least talk to.
Yeah.
But that was ridiculous. Within 48 hours, I had quotes that I could have redone the whole damn house with the cheap guy. But I also knew that dude was probably just showing up to look through my medicine cabinet and see if I had pills.
Yeah. We
a whole nother fucking
we
scene.
put a screen porch on the back of our house, and it was the same thing. It was like 30,000 and like 10,000 and everything in between. And we had one dude that was like, usually they would show up and they're like, all right, I'll get you a quote in a couple days. This dude showed up, took a couple measurements, looked around, gave a quote, and then was like, and if you sign right now, I'll knock a couple grand off. And
Oh, that pisses me
I
off.
was like, yeah, you're not.
I just
a
got high
straight
pressured
up
sales
dude.
for a screened-in porch.
Yeah.
Thanks
I
a
can't,
lot.
I can't tell you that the guys that the larger companies that come in with those high quotes, or you get it's time.
Yeah.
If you got one, like I've had a guy that did our painting in our house, and yeah, it took 5 days. If you got the time to put up with it, you get a better cost,
Yeah.
or you can pay double and it's done in 24 hours.
Yeah, because you're doubling the crew up,
Yeah.
and they're running through it.
Do you want them in your house that long?
I've also found that your best bet is to, the guys that do the like pay me a third up front and then a third and then another third, like that's when you get swindled. Like every good quality job I've had in my house,
Pay me at the end.
the
That's what you
contractor's
want.
like, when you're happy, after we've done the punch list, then we talk about money.
I did that once when I was building the pallet house. I actually paid a guy half up front,
Uh-huh.
and then I was supposed to do the other half on the back end to lay the concrete slab.
Yeah.
Well, guess what part took longer than every other part?
Yeah.
The dude that had half his money
Yeah.
on the front end just didn't show the fuck back up. He
Yep.
was like, thank you very much. Every day I'm calling this guy like, hey, you coming? You said if the weather was good, you'd be here. It's 75 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, because you were trying to get this done before football season.
I
remember that.
had a plan, and I was executing the plan. I think we were done by week 3.
Yeah.
I think that's how it netted out. It was rough. It was
Yeah.
rough. Dude, you sent me something this week, Troy, that actually got me thinking, and then look at the producer's right on it. That was actually
Dude, I
interesting.
love that we have the computer right to the TV. That's a nice.
This is a nice touch.
We've gone with the whiteboard for all these years, and we could have been doing it like this.
Stu has stepped us up in 2 weeks. This is very nice. But
If you need me, I got a pager.
so this past week I was in Asheville for work, and then
The South microbrew mecca.
to say the least. I mean, they have like 80-some breweries in the city limits. I mean, that's ridiculous because that city is the size of a shoebox.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing to it. And there's breweries everywhere. And big-name breweries are coming in at a ridiculous rate to set up East Coast operations there, which, if you think about it, Asheville is in the mountains. There is nothing convenient about that being your East Coast distribution center because everything's difficult to get in and out. So there has to be a lot more going on there if you're going to actually set up distribution there, you know?
You got to wonder if they're, like, getting out ahead of themselves with all that. Like, is it going to sustain?
Well, I mean, the whole beer industry is that bubble was waiting for it to burst.
I was going to say, I feel like it's a balloon that is overinflated right now. I mean,
the fact that we all keep drinking, it helps their cause. But
what's so different about 10, 20 years ago? Like, I don't get it.
Oh, I don't know. It's funny because you had breweries that popped up in places that failed.
Yeah.
And you were like, why? This is really good. Like, I got it. I liked it.
Yeah.
And then they would just fail.
I mean, Richmond's always had a few breweries that, like, now are just like dinosaurs, even though they've been making good beer for longer than all these new guys that popped up last year.
Legends.
Yeah. Legends been there forever, but Rich Brow failed, and that was the greatest place on earth.
Yeah.
Met Scottie Pippen there.
I met somebody else there.
Met my future Hall of Famer there.
Yeah, you did.
We broke up.
I DJ'd there.
Of course, DJ Stitch in the house.
On the ones and twos.
That's right. So I was down there, and, you know, every time I go there, since there are so many breweries, I tend to go around to all of, like, the smaller breweries and get to know them. And this time I was like, screw that. I'm going to the big names. I want to go see the big dogs. So I went to Sierra Nevada first. If you ever get a chance to go to Asheville, go to Sierra Nevada. Like, that was well worth the trip. So that one's actually outside of the city limits. They got like 300 acres back there.
Jeez.
They've got a little pavilion that they've set up where they're doing shows. As soon as you walk up, you see everything and you're like, oh my, like, this place is amazing. Like, you know immediately that you're
we're looking at pictures.
Yeah, that you're in a different place. I mean, it's gorgeous the way the vats are bronzed out, like coppered out.
Yeah.
Oh God. So it's got this huge restaurant tasting area.
It's not even in the Sierra Nevadas.
No, it's in Asheville, North Carolina.
Maybe
that's why they chose the mountains, because they're from the mountains.
Yeah.
You know what I
Asheville's
mean?
great, though, just in general for everything.
I gotta get there. I'm not.
They
been
must
there.
have had like 35 different beers on tap of theirs, and they were like, these 15 you literally can't get anywhere.
They do guest taps too, or is it all?
No,
Sierra
this
Nevada?
was all Sierra Nevada, and it was gorgeous. I mean, I had a blast, and I was there on a Thursday night. It was packed out.
Nice.
You know what they had? They had the Ultra Vase. Remember the the D.E.L.I winner, which I'm saying is probably our summer beer right now. I had one the other day. Fantastic. And I actually rolled up on it.
God, Stu was killing it.
Rolled up on there to get the Ultra Vase. And I'm with young Jimmy, and I'm telling him, I was like, nah, you're going to love this. Because he was like, I want to try that beer you guys liked so much.
Yeah.
So he orders it, and I'm standing in front of the beer snob who pours you the beers. And I'm like, it really is the best Bud Light Lime you've ever had. And she kind of looks up at me.
Oh, no.
And then she thought about it for a second. Like I was absolutely waiting to be just
slapped,
just reprimanded. Yeah, you know, like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Take your PP out. I'm gonna smack it with a ruler.
Yep. I was like, no, this is the best Bud Light Lime you ever had. And she looks up at me, and she kind of gets this look on her face.
Oh,
and then
clicked.
You see her come around. She goes, yeah. And then she giggles and goes, it's good. and pours the beer. And I was like, yeah, I didn't even get my hand slapped calling your beer a Bud Light. She was like, that's actually pretty damn accurate.
That's still a pretty new beer for Bud Light. I mean, who came up with it first? Do you think it's Sierra or?
Oh, Bud Light Lime's been out for about 10
years. Yeah.
That's still new.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But the Ultra Base is this year.
That should be their tagline. The best Bud Light Lime you ever had.
No corn syrup.
Speaking of young Jimmy, how is young Jimmy enjoying his move from the beach to the mountains? Because he lived in an epic beach town that we love, one of our favorites.
Yeah, from Folly Beach to Asheville, North Carolina. This guy knows how to live.
Yeah, he's doing it right.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Because his job says he can live wherever he wants, and he's like, well, if you're going to give me that freedom, I'm going to dope spots.
Yeah, and that's it. That's what he does. He does it right. Yeah, he's liking it for sure. I mean, he loves being up in the mountains. But he was talking. He was talking about.
Where's he going now?
Brought up the old RIC to me this.
Oh,
past
really?
Week. Yeah.
Don't
nice.
downgrade Jimmy. Come on, young Jimmy.
But
I mean, I love RVA, but if you're giving me Folly, and I've never been to Asheville, but I've heard nothing but great things about it.
it's badass. So
Was
here's
he a family here or something?
Here's the official. No, us.
Well, I get that.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect. He's like, I don't want to have to wait till Thursdays. If I could just show up
That's
on Monday
right.
and listen, I was
That's
like,
right.
there's some dedication. He's like, I'm taking my kids out of school, getting closer to the pallet house. But so I went to Sierra Nevada, and I'm like, okay, this is fantastic. Like, I'm blown away. Then I had like their food and everything. I was like, this is fantastic. Like, I'm loving it here. So I was like, you know what? I want to go check out New Belgium. Like, I'm going to keep going down this road.
Hell yeah.
Go to New Belgium, and it's right in the city. Awesome. Like, just badass. I do think Sierra Nevada was probably more impressive, but New Belgium is more my speed because it was like right on the city and on the river. I kind of dug that. So I was like, okay, both these breweries are fantastic. So then I'm like, you know where I'm going? Wicked Weed.
Oh, yeah.
The sellout, right?
Yeah.
The one that sold out to Anheuser-Busch. So now they're part of Ambev, and everyone hates them because Wicked Weed is a bunch of sellout
So is everybody
bitches.
protesting out front?
Dude, it was packed. It was packed. And it's funny because I asked young Jimmy, I said, what was the deal? Like, how was it? He's like, man, people had shirts, hats made up. People were walking around Asheville like
being
anti-Wicked Weed
yeah.
for selling out. And I'm like, these bitches. Like, and our argument here has always been, what, do you hate continuity? Do you hate a steady supply?
Yeah.
Better tolerances on your equipment, everything? Like, oh, yeah, you're right. That's shit, you know?
better price, always.
Yeah. So, of the three breweries, I go in Wicked Weed, and I drink this one beer they have that's like a mango habanero beer.
Ooh.
Best beer I had out of all three breweries, hands down.
We got to get some
What's
of
it
that.
called?
Now that mango habanero
is
or
it-
something.
I
I mean,
mean,
it had some.
It's got a cute name, I'm sure.
Yeah, it had some absolutely clever name. It just wasn't. I don't know what it is.
We'll
So
have to look it up.
yeah, of course we got the producer all over it. So
Just talk about it.
I'm sitting here drinking this beer, and I'm like, how old is this beer? They're like, oh, this is a new beer. And I was like, fucking exactly. You'd always done good beer before,
Yeah.
but now you're churning out amazing beers because you have access to more stuff.
Yeah, more supplies, more revenue, more infrastructure, more everything.
It
Stupid
was
sellouts.
awesome. There it is, the peach habanero saison.
Ah, I thought you said mango. You're a liar.
I was lying because I didn't want everyone to drink it up.
Oh, so it's a saison, so it's
Yeah,
not too high of a alcohol content.
it was pretty. I think it's like 6 and change.
Yeah.
It was, dude. It was excellent. And the little things I've seen though,
6.3.
it just
Nice.
moves it up. Like the quality's up, the beers are better. Now they have a gift shop. Ooh, so evil,
Oh.
so evil. Dirty gift shop in your brewery, you scumbags.
I'm getting on my iPhone, and I'm going to go to my social media page and tell how anti-corporation I am. Let all
and
these people
look
know.
at every other brewery. Yeah, they sell shirts, they sell hats, they sell koozies, but it's over there in a rack.
Yeah.
Now we do have a gift shop.
Oh, yeah.
It also was full of beers. It was great. It was great.
Place sounds awful.
So I was impressed with how Wicked Weed has already changed. And in my estimation, for the better. Now, this week, you send in an article
Yeah.
that shows that two of the largest breweries in the craft beer universe are joining forces. And I find this to be very interesting.
Yeah, that blew me away. And I read the article, but I still don't fully understand what it means because they're both powerhouses in their own right. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, so I dug into it a little bit. So, all right, so the two companies in question right now is Boston Beer Company, which is the Sam Adams empire. Now, arguably, that's America's first craft brewery. They were the ones who did it, and then people didn't actually poo-poo it. Like, they
You mean
enjoyed it.
first big craft brewery? I mean,
Yeah.
craft beer's been around for longer than that.
I mean, I think the argument can be made that Anchor Steam and Sierra Nevada probably even predate
Yeah.
that. Well, Anchor Steam for sure. But it's universally recognized as the first American craft brewery is Sam Adams. So Boston Beer Company's been at this game for a while. Well, Dogfish Head was one of the newer people to the game, and they've made an amazing name for themselves and make some awesome beers. So it turns out that these two are going to join forces in like a $300 million deal, which actually probably isn't the most crazy price tag that's ever been paid for a brewery. But
So who bought who?
so I looked into that. Boston Beer Company has 75% of the sales. Dogfish would equate for 25. So clearly, Boston Beer Company purchased Dogfish.
But it's not like it didn't read like it was like.
It's not
like
a hostile.
It was eating.
No.
It's not. It's like we're collabing here. Like we're getting together.
They're just joining forces at this
Yeah.
point, you know? And I'm psyched to see what happens there because I've been over here preaching that Dogfish had that Slighty Mighty coming out,
Yeah.
which we still have not
No.
been able to test, unfortunately. But Slighty Mighty came out, that's where they're using the monk fruit to bring the calories down instead of sugar. And now it's going to be the first low-carb IPA. And I told my wife, I go, dude, we should look into this. Like, we should try to buy stock. And turns out that now they were purchased by a company that you can buy stock in Boston Beer Company. So I think this is going to be great for Dogfish Head. I don't know what it's really going to do for Boston Beer Company. They were already massive. But if anything, it gives them – it's a 25% growth.
Is Boston Beer Company still growing? I feel like they're – and I don't know. This is my feelings. I feel like I don't see and hear as much about them anymore.
That's interesting. I see that our deli happened to be owned by Jim Cook, who owns Boston Beer Company.
Today's Deli?
The deli
Yeah.
for today. Well, at least part of it, part of the thing. We'll get there. But so now I'm excited to see what Dogfish Head's going to be coming out with.
Dogfish Head has been growing gangbusters.
Yeah, but
past
now
year.
they're the ones who are going to have access to better because
Yeah.
they're not the big dog in this equation. Now what Sam Adams is going to get is kind of another lower tier, more crafty
I was gonna say they're
beer.
getting street cred on the
Exactly.
craft beer side because they get slammed for being sellouts.
Exactly, which is unfortunate because they're great beer. So
Eh.
and that Sam 76 was
That was
probably
good.
one of the highest
That
deli
was good.
award winners we've ever given.
I think the
that's
Boston Lager's a little overrated, but that's my opinion.
Sure, but it came out in a time before
Yes.
there was even IPAs.
Yeah,
And they came out and made them
remember
the Glory Days.
that was so good.
As I'm choking down the most stanky IPA
Dude,
in
this
the world.
is ruining my breath for sure.
Oh, it couldn't be any worse. When you walked in,
Oh, really?
I knew you
don't-
were here.
Oh, thank you.
Have you guys tried any of these Dogfish IPAs? The recent ones, the 60-minute, 75-minute, 90-minute, 120-minute.
Oh, yeah,
IPA?
they've had those
Oh, yeah.
forever. The 120 is a bit of a kick in the ass.
They are straight alcohol, dude.
but
Like,
that
it-
60-minute is perfect.
Yeah, it's not bad.
right there.
Yeah, I'm a big 60-minute IPA guy.
They have some sours and some other. I mean, they do variations, which I always like.
Their Namaste White is a dope beer. It's
Yep.
very good.
Sorry, don't mean to take away from the conversation.
No,
you guys are
you're
staring at the screen.
You're adding to it.
You're the worst, dude.
I'm cutting down on the conversation.
Nah, so I'm excited, though, to see where this goes because this is definitely, right on point with what I saw, that Wicked Weed got better and those other breweries were doing great by having operations here. I'm excited to see what comes of this.
What's weird is they're both New England-ish based. Like it's not a West Coast, East Coast thing.
Yeah, because Dogfish is Delaware.
Yeah.
So it's actually perfect. Maybe we need a little alliance on the East Coast. Start
I've
going
been
back.
up to the Dogfish Head. I've never been to.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's an amazing facility, but it's like in a neighborhood. Like it's weird. It just is out of nowhere.
Oh, so it was like that means it started as a true.
Yeah, and you can
You
tell
know-
they've added on like
Because every microbrewery starts in a shitty spot that's
Yeah.
cheap to buy, and you go, you know what's cheap? This little dump.
well this
warehouse.
so this Dogfish Head's actually like in a neighborhood you could walk to it, which most of them are in like industrial parks and stuff. So I don't know if the zoning's different up there or maybe they were there
I think it's
before.
just the cheapest way to get space. That's why you end up in industrial parks.
That's what I'm saying. That's why this one's different because they are in a neighborhood. Like,
Oh, they're in an
houses.
actual neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, I never.
You can leave. You can walk from like my buddy Kaz.
Yeah.
Lived in the neighborhood next to it. Would walk there.
Well, it's like I wonder if it's similar to.
Oh, that adds up. Kaz would either live by a whorehouse or a brewery.
Yeah.
Well, it's like in Pennsylvania. I mean, I haven't been to Delaware in forever, but you go. It could be a residence. It can be the bar, and then it's a church. There's no zoning. It's kind of the same way like in Florida too.
Yeah.
So you can just go do whatever.
Yeah, the Commonwealth could be different. It wouldn't surprise me if we do things a little ass backwards.
Yeah, 100%. Our
lot of-
laws
a
are
lot of things.
all born of the 1800s.
But Pennsylvania is weird too because that's the place where the first time I went there, I couldn't find beer anywhere I went because they don't sell it at convenience stores. You got to go to
Yeah.
a bar to buy beer. You walk into a
or
bar,
a package store.
yeah, but you walk into a bar and
You
walk
get a six
out.
pack
Yeah.
and walk out.
That is weird.
If it wasn't for Pennsylvania, though, I would have never understood the difference between ABC on and ABC off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I was in Pennsylvania, I was with the plumber, and he's talking to the bartender, and he goes, "So were you guys on off?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" And
I know your
like,
weird slang, dude.
and the guy's like, "Yeah, we're on off," and he goes, "Cool, let me get a beer and a 6-pack." And I was like, "What? What was that?" And he's like, "Off means you can take it off premise." I was like, "That's beautiful. That's a pro tip for you."
And then you're like, all right, your one beer will be $6. Your 6-pack will be $6. You can't drink that here.
But you can even find some of those places. Like you can be in Virginia and you'd be like, "Are you on off?"
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I did not realize that. That is, and only the plumber would ask that question. On
Yeah.
off? Yeah, we're on off. It's like, oh, cool.
Man, I tell you, when I was, back in school working as a floater for the ABC package store.
And were the laws different in the 70s?
Oh,
Yeah,
Dirty.
everybody had to have a mustache. That was a big.
I can only buy beer in November then.
No, but I mean, it was you said plumbers. I remember the same painters, the same plumbers every morning.
painters are notorious
10
drunks.
a.m.
Yep.
The 50 milliliter coming in, and then I realized, these guys just have no life because they're painting all day long, especially the painters.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to any painter listeners out there, but
Dude, you just stare at a wall all day long.
That's our number one demo is painters.
Painters,
So
great.
take it
All right.
back.
They're,
But I understand
they're
why-
drunks and stoners.
I understand why they listen to heavy metal when they paint too. Because I was
Yeah.
painting my room, and it was just like I got to stay awake. You can't
Yeah.
listen to anything else. And it's like, all right, change it. Let's go.
It adds up. It adds up. Speaking of all this beer talk, I do want to get into our deli. So I got excited about this particular deli because it's a genre that we don't dive into often and has been dominated by Jim Cook's Twisted Tea.
Dude, this looks classy.
Dude, I'm psyched about this. So I've been seeing this for the last few weeks when I go in to pick up beer at random places. They call it Wild Leaf Craft Teas, like hard teas.
Yeah, but this is
Who's this distributed
black
by?
tea with lemon and honeysuckle. That sounds delicious.
Well, the other one was apple and
Like Twisted
something.
Tea's like it tastes like Lipton iced tea. It tastes like fake tea. to
Yeah,
me.
Yeah.
I drink it a good bit, but it's still got that back end malt flavor.
This
It's a
looks
malt,
like it.
but-
This looks like tea, like real tea.
Yeah, but it's just a label. Let's not start dogging Twisted Tea.
Well, the tea itself in the glass bottle looks like real tea.
Well, we don't know what. Well, yeah, I guess we do. The bottles are clear in Twisted Tea, aren't they?
No, I think Twisted Tea's like cans.
You can get them both.
Yeah, you can get them in bottles
6-pack.
too.
Does it look like this?
Yeah,
It's a darker.
It is darker.
It's a darker tea.
It looks more artificial, right?
This looks more real, like you just brewed this.
Yeah, this looks like a.
The Twisted Tea.
This is interesting. Get in there, fellas. I want you to take a taste of that. That's interesting. Yeah.
That could be trouble.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
My wife's gonna love this shit.
I don't even know. I'm basically ready to give.
God, it's so full of sugar.
It has to be, right?
11 grams of
Anything-
sugar.
Anything that's gluten free is loaded with sugar when it comes to the drinking
11
side.
grams of sugar.
Okay, so this is the Wild Leaf Black Tea with lemon and honeysuckle craft hard tea, 4.5% alcohol by volume. Now, I don't know about you guys, but oftentimes in the summer, I like to have a twisted tea. Like, I come off the golf course, I've been boating all day, fishing, whatever it may be. When I get done, I tend to want a twisted tea. It's just something I've done for years.
I don't drink a lot of them, but they're
situational.
My thing is, I don't consume a lot of sugary drinks, so whenever I do, they're sicky sweet to me. But I do like to have them. It is refreshing. I definitely don't want an IPA.
That's what I'm saying. It's situational. Like you don't go, hey, I'm gonna pick up a 12-pack of twisted tea and go out.
Yeah. You're at the beach, you're hot, you're outside. It's like a Leinenkugel. It's like a shandy.
I like
Summer
to
shandy,
have,
yeah.
I like to have them on hand occasionally. So I wanted to see what the fuck they thought they were doing with these craft teas that are coming out now. So I've got like I said, the wild leaf black tea with lemon and honeysuckle. Now, I've had a few sips, and I've immediately had a few more.
There's like, you read the ingredients, there's nothing in here. It's filtered water, alcohol from cane sugar, then cane sugar, brewed black tea, natural flavors, citric acid, some hops,
And lemons.
Mandarin hops, and lemons. I mean,
I don't know that.
Troy, I'd like you to go ahead and start us off there.
I'm in love with this.
Yeah. Okay.
This tastes like an awesome like sweet tea you would drink somewhere, like a Wawa sweet tea. Like, I mean, it's just a good iced tea. It's a good sweet iced tea, not overly sweet, like you might get at a diner, that down south where like your teeth start hurting immediately. This is pretty damn perfect. Like,
This is interesting.
I can't give this a 5.
The fact that you even just brought up a 5 in the conversation, I
don't have any problems with this, other than it's full of sugar. But the taste is amazing. No alcohol. Taste of 0 alcohol.
Oh, I was actually thinking after I had this, I was like, I can't keep this in the drink drawer because if the kids got their hands on it.
Yeah, because it doesn't even look like alcohol.
Yeah, and if they got their hands on it, they'd be like, "Oh shit, this is good."
You would
and
think
drink
this
the whole
is
thing.
you would think this is like a microbrew tea in a bottle. Like if you're not reading the label.
So, what would be your official score?
Well, I can't give it a 5.
That's the second
4
time.
might be too low.
Wow.
I feel like 4.5 could be too high. It's in the 4.5 range, though. I mean, it's delicious. I mean,
So you're a 4.25?
Quarter.
prove me wrong, as the sign says. I love this. I think it's amazing. Prove me wrong.
So this has, I still taste tea,
Yeah.
which I hate to dog a twisted tea because twisted tea is the gold standard,
The OG.
and I think it's fantastic.
I've never thought that.
No, they've gotten better.
This I still taste the tea. It's not syrupy.
No.
So it's not overly sweet. Despite all that sugar you called out, it's not overly sweet.
If you blind taste tested this, you would think it was just
this
a
isn't
tea.
as sweet as a McDonald's sweet tea.
No,
Hell
no.
no.
You know
Hell
what I
no.
mean? This is fantastic.
And you can taste the lemon in it.
I agree with you. I think the alcohol content is on par with its score.
4.5. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 4 because that's ludicrous
yeah.
to go 4.5. But I agree with your sentiment. It's better than a 4. It's
It
just
is.
not a 4.5.
Yeah.
I love this, which upsets me because I'm a twisted tea guy.
I've already crushed over half this, and I could, like, most of these sweet drinks, I go, I'd have 1, maybe 2. I could see myself getting into trouble with these. I could crush a 6er.
Yeah, this is dope. The lemon is light.
Yeah.
It's good. What do you got, Stu?
I was just going to say it doesn't have the like with twisted teas. It's good, but it doesn't have the. There's an aftertaste that lingers in your mouth with a twisted tea. I think. I've had a
Speaking
couple
of,
Uh-oh.
I bought Twisted
Somebody's
Tea
got some
today
out there.
because
Oh,
But can
I couldn't taste this without putting it up against the OG. Go ahead, Stu.
I was just going to say one thing that the fact that it says honeysuckle, I haven't come across anything that's got.
I love honeysuckle.
Oh, I love honey. You should
Actually-
have some growing in your backyard.
I today taught my kids how to eat honeysuckle.
There
I
you
was
go.
like,
just now?
I was like,
They
hey.
should already know.
Yeah, well, most of it's for me. I don't have a lot. I was like, hey, kids, come out here. I want to show you something.
No, I'll give it a 4 1/4.
The honeysuckle is just.
I think we're all in agreement.
the
here.
honeysuckle
This is fantastic.
flavor in this. I mean, honeysuckle is a weird flavor in and of itself. It's just, yeah, I don't taste it per se, but I guess it would be lost on the sweetness of the sugar and the tart of the lemon. So the Twisted Tea's 5%. I was reading the can trying to find
They don't have
the
it.
ingredients, and they don't. It says made with brewed tea, though.
Well, I can tell you that just from what I know, this wild leaf is going to be way more healthier for you
Yes.
than the Twisted Tea.
But let's try the Twisted Tea before we go and condemn it. It is a fantastic drink. It
I
has
think the
gotten
Twisted
us,
Tea is like a malt beverage or something.
That's exactly right.
I feel like it's not a
malt
true
beverage with select teas and natural flavors.
Yeah,
It's,
so
it's a blend.
We don't know this isn't a malt beverage over here.
it would have to say it.
Yeah.
It would have to say it.
Ooh.
Does it?
Okay.
No.
I have now had the Twisted Tea, which is the OG, the greatest of all the teas that has ever been produced. It cannot be beat. It's the top of the food chain, the best of the best. Ladies, you may not like me, but learn to love me because I'm the best that's going today. Woo! It is the Ric Flair of teas. It was.
I was waiting for it.
It might be overselling itself is what you're getting at. Oh my God, that tastes like trash.
I'm just saying I'm drinking it, and it has all of that McDonald's sweet tea. I actually taste the booze in it.
It tastes fake.
Now I'm going back to my black
It
tea.
tastes so fake.
It was, but if you think about it, when everybody's having, beer, whatever
Yeah,
they're drinking, and
yeah.
this is the first one that comes out.
Yes.
I remember when it came out, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Well, now we have options.
This tastes like, remember the Lipton iced tea?
That's exactly
That's-
right.
That's what it tastes like.
No, and that's what I think they were going for.
Yeah.
And this tastes just like Lipton out of a can.
Yeah.
I mean, just like it. This wild leaf shit, I just had a second sip. It's head and shoulders.
I'm using it to cleanse my palate.
Yes. Yes. The wild leaf is.
That's head and shoulders better.
Are we going to rank the Twisted? We have to drink it.
The problem is that without the wild leaf, I would have given the Twisted Tea a 3.5.
But we're here to But we're here to educate. So
Twisted Tea is now a 3. No, because it is a good drink, but it's a sickening sweet. Twisted Tea is the McDonald's. This is like another
Chick-fil-A?
level up. No, that's you didn't give Wild Leaf enough credit.
this
Yeah.
is tea you brew at home.
That's good tea. So I'm still going to give it a 3 because I like what Twisted Tea is. But if I'm going to give it a 3, then the Wild Leaf is a 4.25 to a 4.5. It's that much better.
Yeah.
It's that much better. It is an extreme
To me,
difference.
you could blind taste test either one of these. All three of us would pick the right one. Like there's no comparison. The Twisted Tea is a 2.5. I mean, yes, it tastes like a air quotes tea, like the canned Lipton tea.
It's a canned Lipton tea.
But this wild leaf tastes just like a tea you brew at home, and it's delicious. And I don't know what the cost is. I'm sure it's
$9.99 a six.
it's a lot more expensive than a Twisted Tea.
Well, how much is a Twisted Tea 6-pack? I
don't
think
know.
that's
You
like
bought
$8.
this.
Well, you get 2 of those for, I think, $4. You can get 2 of the tall boys.
So that's 4 beers for $4, basically.
Okay, so we're calling it 6.
Yeah.
But I do think Twisted Tea comes in around $8 a 6-pack.
Well, then you're dumb to not buy the wild leaf
Right, but if you're breaking into it.
because you're
like,
marginal.
If you haven't had, if you're drinking beer, you're drinking whatever, and you're going to break into something new, and you think, let me try this Twisted Tea.
Maybe you like the. I mean, there was a time when I loved that Lipton can tea.
Oh, God, I drank the heck out of it.
I was like, oh, that tastes delicious. I can't drink it anymore. It's just not, my palate doesn't appreciate it. Like, this Wild Leaf is delicious.
You only bought 6 of these?
Yeah, but we can drink them all. There's only 3 of us. Don't worry, guys. We each have.
And we got to finish this Twisted Tea.
I really thought the Twisted Tea would be right on par. I did not expect this. I really didn't. I thought, okay, here's a gimmick. It's going to taste just like Twisted Tea. And the reason I bought Twisted Tea was because I wanted Twisted Tea to win.
Yeah.
And that's why I kept it hidden, because I wanted to
So
bring
you
it
say
out.
3, I say 2. Stu, what do you think of the Twisted Tea?
Oh, man, I've had it.
It's hard to
I've had
drink
it so
it.
many times.
It's
but
hard to
now,
drink it after you've had this other one. You're like, because you're just kicking the shit out of it after.
I'll be honest. I mean, I had Twisted Tea like all the time. I still had it all the time because I just didn't know.
Stu, you son of a bitch. You've been pulling up all this stuff. Can you tell me who the supplier is? Just take a look.
Who's the supplier of this Wild Leaf?
Oh, well, yeah. So, Boston Beer Company.
Oh,
Bingo.
damn.
They just fixed their own glitch.
Yes.
How interesting is that?
That's a totally, like, that's a 180 from what they've always done.
They had the Twisted. They already make Twisted Tea.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh, so now they make both of them?
That's interesting.
You know what that is,
Whoa.
though? You know what that is? That's demographics.
Yes.
That is Wild Leaf is up here,
Yep.
and you're going to pay for it, and you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then it's 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
Wawa, Twisted Tea. I got to go.
The Wild Leaf is the moms who want to drink mimosas and Bloody Marys. The Twisted Tea is like the yard guy who wants to get his fucking cap twisted back for cheap.
Yeah, I need 24 ounces of beer, not 12.
Yeah.
Look, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
Dude, back
you
in
can
the
put me
day-
in that category, though.
well, hey, I'm with you too. My thing is like I've been the guy who's gone to, there used to be a in the bad part of town there was a grocery store called Farmer Jack that I would buy 99-cent 40-ounce Miller High Life.
Oh, I'm very familiar with
And
the
we get-
99-cent 40-ounce Miller High Life.
I mean, my roommate,
That's the greatest beer ever.
dude, me and
I'm
my
only
roommate
having
would go
one
buy
beer.
2 of them and we'd get blasted. $2 drunk. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's crazy.
And quality.
Have a great time
Yeah,
off a
I have-
$2 drunk.
And it's a much better experience than you have with like an OE
Yeah.
or even a
Mad
St.
Dog
Ides or
any of that
something.
stuff.
Dude, Mad Dog. I ran into a place the other day. It was the greatest bar in the world. I'm down in Jacksonville,
I
Florida.
think you told this story.
to you.
Did you not tell on the podcast?
Fuck.
I don't recall.
Great.
I know I've heard this story.
I've told you.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Listeners, I hope you're not going to get this twice. I found a bar in Jacksonville, Florida that did not want to apply. I meet the owner in another bar. I'm sitting there by myself and I'm having a drink, and this guy comes over. Oh, yeah, sure. Fill me up with the Twisted Tea. Thanks a
You
lot.
got to drink it. It's been
Yeah.
cracked.
I go to get diabetes for not much reward. At least you give me a ho-ho, motherfucker. But so I'm sitting in this bar, and this guy comes walking in, and he's like, I think the bar was called like the Jefferson or something. It is a name of a president. And I'm sitting there talking to him, and he's like, "Oh
The
yeah,
Obama?
I own this bar around the street." And he's like, "You should definitely come by, check it out." And he's like, "We don't have any liquor though." And I'm like, "Oh, you don't have liquor?" He goes, "Yeah. The funny thing is, in Jacksonville, you know, the churches bought up all the liquor licenses, like from the state. Like they made a finite amount of liquor licenses, so that way they could control how many bars they had that were serving liquor. So say Jacksonville puts out 200 liquor licenses, then the church bought all of them. So now when Jacksonville sells them, they're $5,000, but the church, in order to make it cost prohibitive, charges like $50,000 for the liquor license. So you either can get one of the few that the state has, or you end up going through the black market and buying it from the church, which is a very interesting setup in and of itself.
That's a whole
You know what I
nother
mean?
story.
Like the church is like, okay, if you're willing to pay us enough money that we can do enough outreach programs in the neighborhood around you, to kind of curb it.
We're looking out for your best interest
Yeah.
or your money.
So they spent all the pass around plate money, the tithes, and they bought all the liquor licenses. So this guy's like, I'm not going to throw 50 grand to the church. Like, I won't have liquor.
Yeah.
I'll just serve wine and beer.
Genius.
And then he's like,
in the Commonwealth, Virginia works the same way.
really?
If you're in a restaurant and you do beer and wine, it's one thing. If you do liquor, it's a whole nother
Well, you can't even
jump through the hoops.
do liquor until your X number of sales in the first 6 months are from food before you actually have your liquor license.
Well, I think beer and wine is the same way as well, but it's different. Like, I think you still have to, except for the breweries, they're exempt. I think if you sell beer and wine, you still have to sell food. But if you have a liquor license, it's a whole nother permit.
He doesn't have to sell food. So actually, he was in the other bar getting food. That's what he was doing.
Because if you think about the beer and wine places around here, they still sell food everywhere except for breweries. And they get by on they don't sell, they just do tasting or something like that. Like they get by on some weird Antarctic, they just get by on some weird rule from 1,000,000 years ago.
Yeah. It's basically loopholes. Man.
Yeah.
Find loopholes. Well, this guy decided to exploit a loophole. I'm not going to serve food. I'm not going to sell alcohol. But then after he opened, he's like, shit, people are missing out. Like, I'm missing out on the brunch crowd because I don't have
mimosas and
I didn't have screwdrivers. So he's like, I have mimosas, but I didn't have screwdrivers. So he's trying to figure this all out, right? So
Bloody Marys.
So he's like, so I started doing sakis because they're wines, but they're fortified. They're very strong. So he's like, I started doing sake. Then like people started showing up.
Well, this is
People
what we talked
liked it.
about that they're doing at the 7-Elevens and even at Total Wine, where they're selling those grape wine drinks that are wine proof.
We were
They're
just
like
talking
20%.
about that. Yeah, 40
they-
proof.
Yeah, but they look like liquor and they taste like your favorite liquors.
Yeah,
But it's a wine drink,
yeah.
which is kind of genius because 40 proof is strong.
Oh, it's very strong. You just pour twice as much. And
Yeah.
now, boom, you're there.
Yeah.
So this guy was like, all right, so I'm making money with this other stuff. But then he said, like, he noticed that some people would come in or he said one night he had Mad Dog at the bar. Like, he bought Mad Dog. And
Which, for those who don't know, Mad Dog is a really cheap malt liquor that you can buy at 7-Elevens for they come in
it's a wine, though, by definition.
Yeah. Or I think that's a
fortified
malt liquor.
wine. It's a fortified wine. So it's got a lot of sulfates and other bullshit in it.
But you can buy a 350 milliliter, like the small bottle for 99 cents or
and
something.
it'll ruin you.
Yeah.
like,
It'll
ruin.
make you sick.
Wreck you.
So Mad Dog falls in the category. You get your Night Trains, your
Night Train and Mad Dog,
Cisco,
yeah.
Mad Dog,
Alizé.
Wild Irish Rose, which
Yep.
is the finest of the $3 wines that you can get in a 7-Eleven. Let's be honest.
When we were pledging, we drank a lot of Mad Dog and Thunderbird together. We called it.
Ooh, Thunderbird. No,
And
there's-
Night Train. Night Train was
is
the one.
Cisco.
the worst.
Yeah, Thunder Train. We would drink those together. Thunderbird and Night Train. Thunder
So-
Train.
And Boone's Farm was
Yeah.
like the.
Boone's Farm.
So this guy goes, okay, people seem to like this. Like, he had the Mad Dog in the bar and people liked it.
It was kitsch.
So he goes, okay, let me dig into this. This son of a bitch has built an entire cocktail menu around Mad Dog and sake. So
Genius.
he takes the Mad Dog and he puts it in. He'll be like, oh, yeah, we'll do banana red, make a mixed drink with it.
Yeah.
And people
like
go
frozen, too?
nuts. He doesn't freeze them. He just makes mixed
'Cause
drinks
you could
with
do
them.
like a daiquiri or something. That'd probably be pretty tasty.
Probably could.
Yeah.
But so this guy is talking to me, and I'm like, hold on. It's like, is this working? He goes, you would be shocked how many guys your age who are old frat guys come in,
Yep.
see the Mad Dog. He goes, I sell it to them for $7 a bottle. He goes,
Oh, they buy the whole bottle?
yeah. So he goes, I used to sell just the drinks.
Yeah.
Now he goes, now I sell the bottle right out of the bag. He goes, every guy that comes in that is like, shots, 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 when they see the Mad Dog, they're like, oh, we're good.
Give me a beer and a Mad Dog.
I'll just buy a Mad Dog, and then they pass it around with all their buddies. He is sitting here selling $7 of Mad Dog, $7 bottles.
He's paying 50 cents.
And he's like, I'm not making a ton of money on the
Yeah.
Mad Dog. He's like, but I'm telling you, these people stick around high-fiving, and
Yeah.
they buy everything in the house because no one wants multiple Mad Dogs.
Yeah.
You just start drinking Mad Dog, and then you start. There it is. See, the producer's paying off. The bar is called the Justice Pub. I was close. I was saying presidential. I was thinking justice.
Yeah.
I was in the ballpark. So the Justice Pub in Jacksonville has all the Mad Dog flavors.
And Jacksonville sounds like the city that would need this.
It's perfect
Yeah,
for it. It's
it
perfect.
is.
But this guy told me, he's like, ever since I did this, he's like, we're killing it. He's holding hip-hop nights. He's holding rock nights. Like,
Yeah.
now he's got bands coming in. He's filling up. The Mad Dog is what started to put his
That's what he should
cocktails
call
on
the
the
place.
map.
The Mad Dog.
It's the Justice. And the dude couldn't have been nicer, but I got to be honest, it's like 10:30 at night. He walks in there, and he had wild eyes on him.
Yeah.
Wild eyes.
Well, you
The
crush
kind of
Mad
eyes
Dog
that
all
show
the
up.
time. Yeah.
From drinking Mad Dog and Cisco and Wild Irish
Yeah,
Rose.
yeah.
Like, he's got these cheap sulfite wines in there, and people are chugging them. And he's like, it's amazing how much they pass
Stu,
it
what-
around and get excited.
What is a research Mad Dog? Is it
Well,
is it wine? Is it malt liquor? What is it?
It's a wine, and Mogan David is actually the MD, but the 2020 portion.
Oh, really? It's got a fancy name. Mogan
wow.
David.
Most people don't know that the MD stands for Mogan David.
Nobody
which is,
knows that.
Which
Why
is
do we call it Mad Dog? Why do we always call it Mad Dog?
Well, because the
What's-
MD, man.
Yeah, because it's MD 2020 is what it's called.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that there was
I thought-
actual initials behind it.
I thought the MD was for Mad Dog.
I think that's just because it's what we always called it.
Yeah.
It's wild. But this guy's making a killing selling horrible cocktails. I've got to get in there and party all night one night.
That sounds fun. I mean,
It sounds like a horrible whatever day's the next day.
I would look at all those flavors. I would definitely be in for that. I would find that place if I was down there. Not that I would ever want to be in Jacksonville for the night.
But that's if you do, now you do want to go by the Justice.
Yeah.
You want to go there and you want to have yourself a Mad Dog cocktail.
So that's Mo and David, and then people just started calling it Mad Dog just probably because it turns you into a fucking Mad Dog.
yeah.
well, and that was always it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was always it. And then I personally,
What's
I
the
think,
2020 for? Did it say anything about that?
Yeah,
Oh,
well, let's
researching. You guys-
we'll just let Stu do his thing. It is amazing that we have
It's
a
like
producer over here.
20/20. Like, it can't be your vision after you had it.
After Mad Dog, you certainly do not get to see the 2020.
It must be
So-
a percentage or something, maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean that would
Like
add up.
20%.
20% alcohol,
Yeah.
I'll give it
20%
that. I'll give
bad
it
fucking decisions.
20% chance that you get a divorce tomorrow.
20,
Yeah, it's like it's not a great scene.
20% chance you take home a 2.
Yeah, 20% chance you get hard later.
20% chance you puke
Enjoy your
guts
Mad
out.
Dog, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20% chance that prostitute was a dude.
Yeah.
There you go. 20-ounce bottle, 20% alcohol.
God damn, I'm learning so much.
There it is.
I love having this producer here.
It is great.
What was it called? Mo and David?
Mogan.
Mogan?
Mogn. Here you
And they
go.
couldn't,
Mogan
he couldn't afford
David,
the R.
20% per 20 ounces.
But Mad Dog has its own website, but Mogan David has its own website too.
Hold on,
and it
so
doesn't
Mogan
even-
David makes their own wines?
Yeah, they make, but they're separating them. You know.
Yeah,
I know,
because
But how nice would it be to show up to a dinner party and bring a bottle of Mogan,
Mogan
David?
David. That sounds cool. Well,
Like-
it's kind of like, you've heard the stories, and I think we might have talked about it. So, like, Costco's in other states sell liquor. They have like bourbons and vodkas and all that stuff, and it's Kirkland brand.
Exceptionally
And
good.
I've had
liquors.
them. I've had the vodka. I've had the bourbon. They're delicious. I've always heard tale that
So good.
the wild leaf. I've always heard tale that like Pinnacle or whomever makes their vodka. Like it's a decent vodka. They just put the Kirkland name on it.
So I
like,
actually,
or no, like Tito's or even something silly like that.
So I found an article not long ago, and I actually sent it in to talk about it. And it's a breakdown of where they come from. Now, it is lock and key secret where Kirkland actually gets their stuff from. But what this website did is they brought in one of the most renowned liquor like
Taster?
sommeliers, if you will. And he went through and they basically said, okay, here's the rumor that it's Tito's or Grey Goose, because I've also heard it's Grey Goose, right?
Or Smirnoff or whatever
So they go, here's that. Now, what do you think? And then the guy would taste it.
and say
And then he would say, okay, I think it's this. And then he would give background of why he thinks the connection makes sense. I actually have this. We could do this as a topic in the upcoming weeks. I have the full breakdown of the Costco liquors.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that because the ones I've had have been delicious, and they're really affordable.
Yeah, the trick is that what Kirkland does is they shape the bottles in a way that makes you think it's another brand. So like their Canadian whiskey looks like a Crown Royal.
Yep.
Their London gin is shaped like either a Beefeater or a Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah.
So this is kind of their angle, and even their vodka has like a Grey Goose.
Yeah, the Scotch
vibe.
looks like a Jameson or something.
So they play with it a little bit to kind of trick you into thinking.
Oh, the tequila looks like a Cuervo or something.
So they do that on purpose. But,
Yeah, it makes sense.
But the guy who really breaks it down, he's like, no, I think they're trying to trick you with this one. And here's
They have to get it from a large manufacturer. Like
Yes.
it's not microbrewed because it's not. They do everything in mass quantities and to get the discount.
Yeah, but they're doing it. I remember this. It's like just smart marketing because the first time I went into Kirkland's and bought the 12-pack of their beer, it looked like I was like. Now that I think about it, it looked like the Sam Adams.
Yeah, but you know what? I did some research on that one, and it was coming out of the same little town that Saranac Brewery in New York comes out of. So I'm under the belief that it's just coming out of Saranac.
Yeah.
And those beers were great. Those craft beers were
they
fantastic.
are good. Well, I've heard too that the liquors, like the when you mass produce liquor, it's not like beer. There's a lot of variables, and they have to make the cut, right? I've heard I've heard Kirkland gets the stuff that doesn't make the cut from some of the top shelf places.
Oh, so they're the keystone of the Coors Light?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you didn't for whatever tasting reason, maybe they do it. It doesn't take 4 years to make. It takes 2 years.
Well, and I think that's probably more accurate
because you're turning and burning.
But even like I would bet that their Scotch is probably aged like 8 years, as opposed to like the 12 years that a standard Scotch would come out.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It is good. Sense. The ones I've had are good. So I mean, I just wish we sold them here. We don't.
Well, antiquated laws. So Troy, you sent me something on the internet today, and you sent this today, and it was officially the best thing I've seen all week.
Oh yeah, that's pretty hilarious.
I
like the thought.
I am a huge fan of this. So we have seen many times. You go look at like a Google headquarters. Heck, Snag-a-Job here in Richmond has a slide that goes from the second floor to the first floor.
Yeah.
So if you go into their corporate office, you can be on the second floor and you walk out and go, I'm going to take the slide. In fact, I went there for a job interview once, and I insisted on going up and riding the slide. I did not get the job. I question if that's because I insisted on going up and riding their fucking slide like a child. Like I came out all buttoned up and was like, can I go upstairs and ride the slide?
Yeah.
With the HR person. She was like, that's
Well, how
that's
often
fine.
do adults get to ride slides? Like I never ride slides anymore.
And so they've got a slide that does like a corkscrew down from the first floor to the second floor to the first
it's
floor.
Probably like it's not a 10-foot ceiling. It's probably a atrium.
It's
a
big.
20-foot.
It's big.
Like
yeah.
it's a good size slide.
Like getting in that slide, you're like, this is a legitimate slide.
Yeah.
And so I've always been a fan of people who put in slides to get us from point A to point B when point A has a much higher elevation than point B.
They're always talking about those as egress for fires in large buildings. They're always trying to work out putting slides. Yeah.
Well, you do like just a spiral. That way it slows you down. But
there's actually
moving.
some that they're manufacturing that are like nets, and they're not really a slide. They're just nets that go straight down, but they're tight. And you slide down them, and if you expand your arms and legs, it slows you down. And if you stay together, just the friction of the net keeps you from going so fast. You're never going too fast. So, because obviously you can't have a slide from a 100-story building. Like, that would, the fall and run of that would be like you'd end up 8 miles away. Like, you just can't.
Wrap the building.
Yeah. Or, it'd have to go around the building, you know.
But when you say net, I mean, obviously these holes aren't, your foot's not going to get caught up and you're going to start tumbling.
No, like a fishing net, but just a tight, constrictive net.
Okay, interesting. I dig this.
I've seen different versions of it too, where like
I mean that makes sense.
They kind of go back and forth, and you kind of bounce around.
Because a sliding pole, you may not make it down.
No,
stairs take forever, and people get trampled, and people fall. But a slide, let's do it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of companies that actually. Well,
McDonald's, they're known for them.
Yeah, I was just
Chick-fil-A. Yeah, you got it.
No, I was going to say my cousin's restaurant that she's been with for 17 years is called Walk-Ons down in Baton Rouge. Drew Brees is a partner in it.
Nice.
And they just built a brand new corporate headquarters, and there's pictures of her and him doing the whole, like, he's doing the slide. Everybody talks about the slide, and it's like one of these things that corporates are just doing.
It's a very easy way to show that you have a cool culture. You know, we're going to put in a slide.
Bring some morale.
Yeah. And honestly, I would never take an elevator or stairs. It just seems stupid. I'm going to take the slide because...
Well, you might take it up.
Unfortunately, after... now, if I had gone up the stairs, I would understand why I did not get the job. But that's not what I did. So there was this town in Spain that has like 100-foot elevation drop that they have winding roads that make their way down. Apparently,
like from one street to another, like two popular streets, and the walk is like, what'd the walk?
10 minutes.
Yeah,
they said that the
walk
from where they put in the slide, if you'd started walking down the road, was 10 minutes till you got to the
back
bottom.
And forth.
Yeah, because you have to deal with
the
antiquated way that we've always dealt with them, and it makes sense. I mean, you can only have so much elevation and de-elevation, whatever that descend.
Yeah,
that so you have to come down. Oh God! So they put in this slide to the tune of like $32,000. Some company came in and said, I got you. We will build a slide that goes from the top of the town to the center of the town so that people can get in and out very quickly.
Yeah.
Now, most of these slides that get installed are either a spiral or you kind of wind your way down.
Yeah.
These
like a water slide, like a like
these shit sticks built a slide.
You look at this thing and it looks, I mean, it doesn't look like it should work just by the picture.
Stu, can you tell me the name of the town this is in? I love having this guy. I'm just going to throw things over to him.
Let's see here.
They put this town in
Estepona.
So they build a steel slide in Estepona, Spain.
33 degrees, just so you know, that's the same banking at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Okay. So
33 degrees is, 45 is steep.
45 is far too steep.
Yeah,
half of a 90 degree. I don't know.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to explain this. You listeners should be smarter than this.
Have you met our listeners?
33 degrees is far too steep to send somebody hurtling down.
And it has like angles in it.
So
it doesn't go straight down.
The best part about this slide is it starts with a straight drop. They did not take the time to slow you down right at the beginning and set the course. No, they dump you with a straight fly, and then they hit a bank turn. And they were nice enough to put
there's videos of it
where the curve, the bank goes up and then curls over so that you can ride up the bank, which is great because all this has created is an area where you can just slap concussions at a steady rate.
Yeah.
So you come down
and
the steep
that
embankment,
are flying around.
You swing up one side, then you come around, then it's another straight shot, then another slam, and this slam is by far the best. This second major slam that they put up, people are sliding up.
This person
and they're
going down
cracking their heads. It's amazing. So,
and they're shooting off the end of it like a rocket ship.
That's the best part. At the end, there's nowhere to go. So if you sit up, yeah, I think you'd be okay.
Yeah.
You can't put a slide in the center of town where I'm not going to arch back, just get my shoulder blades and my ass on there, get as little friction as possible, and haul.
Well, you have to
ass.
make it foolproof, right? So, yes.
That's the thing. You have to make it foolproof.
You have to plan for worst case scenario. Somebody's going to get on there wearing some Teflon or something. Chances are no.
Oh, you're going to Griswold it.
Yeah. So you've got to design it for the worst case scenario. Now they're showing it with like people doing it correct, or they're sitting up and they're like kind of dragging their hands, like kind of keeping. But then like you get the dum-dums on there laid back flat in a torpedo.
You guys got to look up this slide.
And they shoot
say,
off the end of this fucking thing. And people are getting injured.
I watched this one lady, and I turned up the sound, and she's coming down, and at the bottom you hear this, thwack!
Yeah.
And her head slams into the side of this steel slide so hard. And then at this point, she's completely dazed and confused. And now she's being launched into the bottom part, and she just gets fired off. And, man,
she's lifeless, too.
The crowds are standing around cheering and laughing. Like, they think this is hilarious.
Yeah, they think it's part of the show. It's like, no, this lady might be dead.
I wouldn't drink anywhere else in this town but the base of that slide.
Yeah, just sit there with a 12.
Oh, my God. Just waiting for people to get concussions and then dial 911 like I'm the neighborhood hero.
It's the same thing with the running of the bulls. You're just going to stand on the side and watch people get gored.
Oh, I would run. I would be the dude on the slide. I would be the dude in front of the bull. No, there's no way.
How would you not ride? I mean, you would have to take that slide if you lived in a town like that.
You
got
to take the slide. But they had this thing open for less than 24 hours before they had to shut it down because of injuries. And this is before kids and teenagers find it.
Yeah. This is
what I
before
mean?
somebody with Heelys fucking jumps on it.
Oh, dude. Oh, I'm so psyched about that concept right now. I never wanted a pair of Heelys till right now.
I mean, we all did that as kids. Like, oh, I'm going to slide down on my knees or on my feet. Like, check me out. Like,
Yeah. There's going to be kids dying.
What our listeners can't see is that's a metal slide, and it's what it makes me think of is if it's just baking.
Oh,
in the sun,
cooking.
Oh, that's
Your
even
skin's going to peel
better. España's not cold.
Yeah.
Don't you remember when you were kids and you got on the hot slide? You're
You
like,
know it. Fuck. You had those short shorts on.
Just
fucking
get
back of your legs
worked.
get lit up.
Worked. Yeah, you just spend the rest of the day sitting on the sideline.
Yeah.
great idea.
This slide was designed by idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, this slide's exactly why I've never heard of a car from Spain
Exactly.
or a helicopter.
This
or a
is the best of
plane.
the best engineering.
Yeah, these people don't engineer shit, and they go, hey, the key is to get them down fast. Because what if there's a traffic jam at the top of the neighborhood?
Stick to kicking the fucking black and white ball into the net. That's what you need to work on.
Do what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
Hit up Germany. They're right around the corner. Let them design that
I bet
shit.
the tolerances would be fantastic. And they'd go, hey, you're going to need a turn here,
Yeah.
here, here, and here. If you just heard what I said, that was 2 more turns than what Spain did.
Yeah. Mercedes would have taken good care of you. Audi, any of those fools.
They would have done a much better job,
Yeah.
despite horrific pass.
Go back to sitting on the beach and,
Yeah, do what you do.
yeah,
Do
stay
what
in
you
your
do.
lane.
Dude, that slide is my favorite thing I've seen on the internet. And they only had about 20 hours of footage of people trying it out to show some of the accidents that I got to see. I mean, they shut it down fast, but it was glorious.
Somebody's in trouble.
125 feet. Forced to close day of opening.
we
beautiful.
do know, like, there are, like, these engineering firms have, like, computer models where they can, like, input the data and see how things work. Like,
But the other side of that equation is you get a bunch of people from the city, municipal city people sitting around, and people come in with their proposals, and these guys were like, 31 grand.
yeah.
There were probably some other people who had
Yeah.
$100,000
Yep.
ideas that were brilliant.
Well, it's actually a good idea because what it actually has saved people is to get from what you can't see is the top level to the bottom level.
He's
It's
going
a
to
10
save us the 10-minute walk. Here it comes.
10-minute
Here
walk.
it comes. Stu's always in the computer. He misses what we say.
Yeah.
That's the one glitch.
No, I was talking about cramps.
Well, the 10-minute walk.
Okay, you got me again.
No, it's a great idea. I love the idea. Like, fuck a 10-minute walk. If you can do a 30-second slide and save a 10-minute walk, that's genius. But you got to do it safely.
But all right, so it says right here that 1,000 people had used it without incident on the day it opened.
But then what happened?
So do you think that you would not lean back and try to go for all the speed you could, trying to find that fine line between injury and speed?
I wouldn't, because I'm a wuss.
Every time I went down it, I'd be tucking myself in.
Even after you banged around it a couple times?
Well, that's when I would say, okay, that's too far of a tuck.
Yeah.
I need to release the shoulder blades a little, put a little more back onto it. And I would find
I
that
mean, just
fine line.
looking at it, like, you go down the straight shot, it's got a 45-degree turn. So to me, it's not like a 45-degree, like, bend. It's like bang, bang. Like,
boom, boom.
I would be scared of it just looking at it. Like, it looks nasty. Like, you're going to hit that 45-degree angle, and you're going to bounce off of it. Oh, yeah, Stu just found that.
That's my favorite one. Stu, if you should put that on the right here, head. Boom. You should put that on the Facebook page. Can you do that for us as the producer?
Oh,
I can do that. I got you.
I love it.
This is the best.
Cool.
We got to get
No,
him,
but it's fun. What's funny is the officials for
This
this.
is going great.
we got to get him rights to the Facebook page.
Well, what's funny is the officials, just like any good government says, to avoid injuries, just sit up.
Yeah.
Okay, who's enforcing that?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem, and that's where, that's where as Americans we all bitch and whine about, like, oh, the government keeps us. It's like, no, yes, the government does have to, like, regulate a lot of stuff, and that's because we have to regulate to the least common denominator. Like, that's why.
Not in Spain. They practice Darwinism, which I can respect.
I ain't mad at it.
They're like, oh, you took the slide, you're a vegetable now? You fucked up.
It sounds like a you problem.
That's a you problem. I can respect what Spain is up to. Stu, here's what I like about you, man. This is you.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
I tell you, it is, man. I tell you, I sell propane and propane accessories.
That's our
You
new
got
producer.
Stu. You recorded Stu last week. On the internet.
I did. That's how we roll. Stu, it's good to have you on board.
I'm loving it. I'm loving this
Trying a
new
little too hard.
technology based.
Are you committing to the show? I'm gonna ask in front of all the listeners.
thousands of listeners?
Are you gonna be the producer? Is that your goal here?
I'm enjoying it. I mean, if I can pay attention, I can neither confirm nor deny, but sure.
Fucking military response. It's just another military guy. We trade out Ely, we get another military
Yep.
guy. You get all these military guys, they got all the professional, I can either confirm or deny.
Marines
answers.
and Navy?
Marines and Navy.
Kind of same thing.
Nope.
Nope. Don't tell Ely that.
Even the Navy guy said, nope. That's hilarious. Nah, Stu, I think having you as the producer, though, is a good thing. We'd love to keep you on board if you think you could actually get behind it.
I can get behind it. I'm here. I'm
I had a
good.
Navy guy tell me a great Marine joke once. You know what Marine stands for? You know this, Stu? Have you heard this one?
I'll let you finish it.
My ass rides in Navy equipment.
Yep.
Boom.
Boom.
Done.
That Navy guy probably got his ass kicked by a Marine.
I can respect that. Well, Stu, we got you on the spot. I think you do a good job producing. I like what you've done here with this whole dialing in the screen up above. We can at least now I know when I'm just talking about stuff, you can actually go, you're correct or you're full of shit. You know what I learned tonight? Fairly accurate, the words that come out of my mouth.
You're always right.
Look, the one thing I'm not right about is predictions, but when it comes to facts about the past, I'm pretty dialed in. I know about things that have happened. I just can't predict the future. I'm good at prattling off the reality.
You're super smart.
Mm.
I'm not, but I am. That's the catch.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as you sound believable.
Well, that's what the microphone's for.
Well, when you speak into the microphone, you are correct 100% of the time.
You are correct, sir.
I wholeheartedly agree. The microphone increases your IQ quite a bit. I'd say at least 20 points.
I do have to say it was weird for the first time. I spent some time listening to the podcast from last week with myself on it.
Oh, that's
Hearing
weird,
yourself?
isn't it?
Yeah, hearing myself for the first time, and I was like, oh, God, I'm an idiot.
You're like, that's what I sound like.
That's our first season. That's our first season. Yeah. You're going to feel that for about a season.
Oh.
And then by the time the second season comes around, you're like, no, they're idiots. I'm right. And so you just need to get a little more confident in it. That's what happens.
I do have to say, maybe it was just because we were around Pat with the cloak of his voice.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
listening to it back, I was like that's just what Pat sounds like. It's not his. That wasn't his voice. I do behind that shield.
I actually played a clip of that show before it was released to one listener. And I go, can you figure out who the mystery guest is? And he goes, by the cadence of his voice, that's 100% Pat. And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would have even picked up on that. But he did. I mean, I played it immediately.
And he thinks highly of himself, which is classic Pat.
Oh, that's what I love about Pat. I was like, are you a scholar? He's like, you're damn right I am.
Yes, I'm a scholar.
Fair enough, Pat. Fair enough. So I do want to send a shout out to Nectar Sunglasses. Speaking
yeah.
of Pat, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you go on their website and drop ITPH in the coupon code, you're going to get 30% off of what is already a reasonably priced sunglass.
Hell yeah.
It's a fucking steal at full price.
Yeah.
It's
I think their most
downright
expensive
larceny.
sunglass full price is $45. So you're getting 30% off that. And it's
And that's for like some high end
they're
shit.
polarized. I mean, fine polarized glasses.
Every
for less than that.
single lens they have is
Yeah.
polarized.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've actually realized that I am wearing more of the aviator style of the Nectar, which is a different look. But I started rocking those a couple years ago. I've had the same pair of polarized Nectars, and I'm talking abuse. I throw them in a backpack.
Yeah.
I take them around. I fuck these things up. They're perfect.
Yeah.
They're perfect. If I had to give a recommendation, I'd say go get the Apollos. Go get the polarized aviators if you're down for that look. Otherwise, they've upgraded so many things over the last few
They've
years.
got wraparounds
Their
now.
plastics. Yeah, everything's gotten just amazing. I would go over there, lose 30%.
Yeah.
Why not? It's a good deal. Troy was telling me about a buddy. This was fucked up. They had a 420 sale,
Yeah.
and they were
42% off.
They were giving 42% off, and then my boy dropped the ITPH in the coupon code. This shit was 70-some% off. I was like, whoa, you forgot to put the old regulation of can't do 2 discounts.
Yeah.
But apparently it was because you didn't have to enter the code. It was like, it just was that price. So if you see a sale like that, sweet Jesus.
Jump on it.
First, order yourself a pair. Second, email us that's happening because that's a deal I don't want to miss.
I didn't jump on the 420 deal because I'm used to getting the 30% off anytime, so I'm not too worried about
But
it.
I didn't realize that it was just
What
a
about getting a
natural
double
sale.
one?
Like
Yeah.
it was a natural sale across the board. Come on. Like that's ridiculous. They're even doing a thing right now where they'll give you a mystery pair if you spend $60 on the site.
Oh, nice.
They'll just send you a pair.
That's dope.
So that's basically you get 2 pairs, you're going to get a third pair.
For free.
Yeah. And then you drop ITPH in there. Boom.
30% off.
Living the dream.
You'll get like 3 pair for $50. I mean,
Just saying. So do head over to Nectar Sunglasses. We appreciate their support.
men's, women's, they got dope gear.
Even if you don't subscribe to a gender, they got
Yes.
great pairs.
Yes.
You know, in fact, they've done some really good things with the in-betweens.
Yep.
It's really nice.
So now you're happy.
Yeah, thank God.
I like that pair.
Yeah, the Baltics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dope ass pair, man.
The blue ones.
Get 30% off, man. ITPH. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Every week, we appreciate that you are downloading, you're listening. I don't know that you're sharing it enough. Just a
Never enough.
minor criticism, the listening fan base. I think if you're sharing it and putting it out there, you know, it helps our cause, to say the least. We don't ask a whole lot here.
Rate us.
Rate us, share it, subscribe. I think that's basically it, right? I think I've covered all the bases. Head over to InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com, and you can always give us some topics. We'd love to hear from you and talk about what's on your mind. You don't always have to hear what's on our mind. You can always head over to the Facebook page, or you can find us on Instagram or Twitter at ITPH Podcast.
MySpace.
We do not have a MySpace page, unfortunately.
Netscape.
Stu's the oldest. He's like, I'll send a CD in the mail and you have free internet access. Thank you
Stack
guys.
of those CDs. I'm looking good for a while now.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be talking to you next week. I hope this week treats you well. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?